If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi. Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Some breaking news here.
Breaking news, WABC.
This is really scary, you guys. A 23-year-old man of Albany, New York, was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was wearing body armor, holding a shotgun, and that is after he crashed his vehicle. He drove across the country. This is scary, from Albany to Las Vegas, and he crashed his car into a Nevada power facility. Authorities are looking at it. They're, of course, calling it a potential act of terrorism. He apparently told his family that he was planning to commit an act that would, quote, put him on the news, and then died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. We'll bring you details on this, but what a frightening situation. Sort of this individual, unclear if he had any criminal history or obviously psychological problems, but was loaded for bear, and planning to do some major act. And this is, of course, the nightmare that so many in our law enforcement deal with every day, John. And John, I understand we have somebody calling in now. And joining us now here on Cats and Cosby is Lara Trump, of course, host of My View with Lara Trump on Fox News Channel Saturday at 9 o'clock. Lara, let's get to the big story, of course, the tariffs. What is your reaction? Your father-in-law, of course, came out swinging today and said he's still going to go forward with a number of other mechanisms. What's your reaction and the politics of it?
Yeah, well, it's a shame because, you know, you look at the good the tariffs have done really for the entire country and entire world. You see $175 billion has come back to the United States. They have been obviously great leverage in order to see so many new trade agreements made and trade deals renegotiated by this president. And then you look at the fact that wars have literally been settled, as the president has noted many times, because of these tariffs. It's just a shame that, you know, the Supreme Court made this ruling. And I mean, I don't think the president minced any words about it. And I think the great news is that we have a president who doesn't just take no for an answer. He says, well, if you're saying I can't do it this way, I'll find another way. He obviously put that out that he's going to do a 10% global tariff overall. I just think it's a shame because, you know, there was so much positive momentum based on those tariffs, despite what all the naysayers had to say initially. And now he's got to find another avenue. But I'll tell you what, if there's any person that can figure it out and make lemonade out of lemons, it's President Donald J. Trump.
You're 100% right, Lara. And the fact is, I don't think the Supreme Court justices did their homework. I don't think they thought things out. I mean, if he can do a 10% tariff for everybody, I mean, it just creates bigger problems than they should have been.
Yeah, and it's sad because you hear some of the people who are dissecting this decision, and they're saying exactly, John, what you're saying, which is it doesn't really feel like these justices fully understood a lot of what not only the repercussions would be, but really, you know, what they were ultimately talking about here. And you know what? I think that if you go around the country and you talk to especially business owners around the country, a lot of them are saying, thank you, President Trump, for these tariffs. The president talked about it yesterday when he was in Rome, Georgia, you know, talking with a business owner about how he has been positively impacted. His workers have been positively impacted by these tariffs. And you got to question, you know, when the Supreme Court makes a decision like this, whose team are they on? They should be Team America first and foremost, above all else. And it feels like this decision really went the opposite way. But again, I think the bottom line is that this president will find another way. He has said that he has a lot of different avenues. We heard about the one today, and I assume there will probably be a lot more to come in the future.
Well, what do you suggest? I mean, where the heck are we? I mean, it's just mind-boggling that we got ourselves in this position, or the Supreme Court has gotten herself in this position, and the Supreme Court is going to be there at the State of the Union Tuesday night.
Yeah, and I think a reporter asked the president, was everyone welcome, even the Democrats who, are angry about everything he does? And he says, I don't care if they come. They can come. They're welcome to come, I guess. But listen, the State of the Union, I think, is going to be really amazing on Tuesday. I'm glad you brought that up, John, because when you look a year ago at what the president promised, he is going to be able on Tuesday night to say, here is what I have delivered, and literally list off the promises he made a year ago as being kept and fulfilled now, and maybe so many more that he didn't even think about back during the State of the Union, a year ago. I think it's going to be a great night. I think Americans are going to hear what he has to say, be inspired by what has happened, and be encouraged for the future. And really, that's what you want out of a president. That's what you want out of an administration. And I always say it, we are so lucky to be alive during the time that Donald J. Trump is president of the United States. It's historic what's happening, and there will never be another one like him.
Who do you have on Saturday night?
It's going to be great. We have J.D. Vance and Usha Vance, obviously Vice President and Second Lady. This is their first interview together since, the administration started, since they took office. And they're talking about everything from their home life to policy things that they're working on, all different fronts. And I also have Steve Witkoff, who's obviously the special envoy to the Middle East and Russia and Ukraine, who has a lot of insight into the negotiations that have been happening with Iran, with Russia, with Ukraine, et cetera. So it's going to be a jam-packed evening, 9 p.m. Saturday night. I will see everyone there.
I'll be watching, and I'll see you there, too. And you had a great tan the other day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I agree, John. She did look good. Lara, thank you so much. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens, John, at the State of the Union. Boy, it's going to be, there are so many layers to this. If
I was a Supreme Court judge, I might not go.
Yeah. I might be like, no.
Listen, Obama insulted the Supreme Court at a State of the Union, and some of the judges decided they're never going back.
The men in black came after Obama. And I'm not talking about black guys.
Who was in that movie? I was trying to think of
the Men in Black, and then President Trump got upset about him releasing confidential information about
UFOs,
aliens.
right?
And I'm not talking about aliens from Mexico.
By the way, we have Tim Burchett coming up talking about
going to talk about UFOs.
Yeah, Men in Black, just like Will Smith.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best our nation has to offer, especially when it comes to healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families' health. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.